بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. أما بعد، قال الأوزاعي رحمه الله: من عرف أن منطقه من عمله قل كلامه. Al-Awza'i, may Allah have mercy upon him, stated, whosoever is cognizant of the fact that their speech is from their actions, their speech becomes little. And what we are most negligent of from our actions is our tongue. So much so that we sometimes forget that what we say is counted from amongst our actions. And so the one who is always conscious that what he or she says is counted from amongst their actions, then their speech will be little, so as to be cautious not to fall into sin by saying that which displeases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And likewise, in our current time, with the increase of fitna and with the increase of evil, increases the many different ways we may fall into sin if we are not cautious, and that being negligent of this matter will have us sinning from morning till night without even considering that we are falling or that we are filling our books of deeds with evil by the minute, if not by the second. And this evil is the evil of social media, whereby previously you would have to worry about lowering your gaze and being careful of doing that which is impermissible outside of your home. But now it has been brought into the palm of your hands. And just as this narration of the illustrious Imam Al-Awza'i rahimahullah has stated that whoever is cognizant of the fact that their speech is from their actions, then similarly, the one that is cognizant of the fact that their usage of social media is also counted from their actions and is being recorded by the angels, then their usage of it would be little, if not non-existent. Do we use social media to spread good and to benefit others? Do we use social media to be a means of guidance to others? Or are we busy using it as a form of entertainment to, as we like to tell ourselves, quote unquote, pass time? Are we following accounts and scrolling through accounts which spread good and that post that which is pleasing to Allah? Or do we follow those that post immorality, lewdness, music, exposing of awrah, and all that Allah hates? Do we make excuses for ourselves to continue to follow such accounts and tell ourselves that we will follow them and quote unquote take the good and leave the evil? Or that there is some sort of benefit that we are getting from such accounts that makes it somehow permissible for us to continue to follow them or visit them, even though we continuously see, watch, and even like and share the things that they post which are impermissible and hated to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we are brothers, are we using social media to speak with women that are not permissible for us to speak with? Looking at pictures and videos, spending hours and hours watching impermissible videos with the excuse that it is funny or humorous, or that we are simply coming across them without any effort of our own. Who are we fooling but ourselves? Do we spend our days and nights watching such videos and sharing them to the point that our hearts have become hardened and numb to it? And we are practicing brothers who pray 5 times a day and grow our beards and wear thobes in public and attend Jum'ah and attend lectures and attend durus. Yet this is our condition. If we are sisters, are we using social media to speak with men that are not permissible for us? Are we following people of immorality and following their daily lives and becoming attached to them? Are we secretly, or even not so secretly, idolizing the most corrupt and evil of women on earth, the kafirat, the disbelievers, who expose themselves and post themselves naked and are lusted over by all sorts of men of immorality? Are we liking their pictures and following their lives and relationships and their newest outfits, wishing deep down we could be doing what they are doing? Are we following the lives of these types of women and envying them and their relationships, wishing we could be living the same life? Are we learning and adopting the views of these feminist type of women and allowing them to creep into our minds and hearts, changing how we see marriage and how we see life and how we see what men should and should not be like? Are we spending hours upon hours watching videos and looking at pictures of men whose awrah is exposed with the excuse of entertainment or humor or culture, or that there are some beneficial things and others that are not so beneficial, but I will take the good and leave the bad? Are we shamelessly liking pictures and videos of men while we are women in jilbab and niqab, and it is done open in public for others to see that we are doing that while we are practicing women? Does our modesty and shyness not follow us to social media, or have we forgotten that our social media usage is part of our deeds and is being recorded? Are we posting content from immoral pages and blogs on our accounts or stories, acting as callers to evil, where we should instead be examples and callers to good, only multiplying our sin for all the people that evil reaches because of us? Do we use social media conscious of the fact that our daily usage is more than just a representation of how addicted we are to social media, but rather a representation of how our priorities as Muslims who are servants of Allah, who will stand before Him, are in shambles? That it is a representation of how much we have filled our book of deeds with social media usage? Are we conscious of the fact that we will be asked about all of these shares and all of these comments and all of these likes of the pictures and videos of the opposite gender and lewdness and immorality and that which is impermissible? Some of us doing this while we are married, showing no respect, first and foremost, for Allah and His boundaries, but secondly, to our spouses. Brothers who have wives and are liking and sharing pictures and videos of women who expose their awrah, and sisters liking and sharing pictures and videos of men whose awrah is exposed or with their shirts off, and they are married. Have we stooped to such a low and such a shameless level? Where will we hide on the Day of Judgment when we are exposed and our social media usage is brought forth in front of us? Imagine the horror and the embarrassment on that day when you realize how negligent you were of the fact that your social media usage, when no one was around, was being recorded and was a part of your deeds that you neglected and were not conscious of, in the same way that we are negligent of our tongues and what we say. What will you do now if you die and all that you have liked on Twitter or Instagram and all that you commented on and endorsed and praised of haram and impermissible matters, all that you saved to go back to later is recorded, and the likes and retweets are all there for the world to see even after you have passed away? And this is for the one who is considered practicing. Are we really practicing, or have we forgotten what that even means? The reality is that it is almost impossible to avoid seeing and coming across that which is impermissible on social media, as its very purpose is to promote and expose us to evil and call us to it. It is not, as many of us falsely assume, to connect us to friends and family, etc. That is the deception. That is the ploy. That is how they get you. That is how you enter into the world of social media, and after months of using it, you find yourself lacking in your religion, in your prayers, praying them late, forgetting to pray them, and so on and so forth, and affected in the way you think and in the way you see life, and then become addicted to it and cannot leave it except with great hardship. However, as was previously mentioned, the one who knows that their usage, or that their social media usage, is counted from amongst their deeds and is being recorded just as their other deeds are, then their social media usage will lessen, or better yet, cease altogether. But this is only for the one that is truly sincere and honest with themselves, and cares about their iman and their hereafter, more so than their addiction to social media and the great evils within it. And there will not be a benefit they can mention that can equate to the protection of their iman. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make the obsession with social media hated to us and to remove it from our hearts. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from its evils and to guide us and give those of us who struggle with it the tawfiq to get rid of it altogether and to cut it off, and to protect those of us who are spreading khair and spreading good from the evils of social media. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.